Hi there, good evening. Welcome along to the Transfer Show. Loads to get through this evening. Alongside me again tonight, Dharmesh Sheth and James Savundra. Somehow they got back into the building. Here's a flavour of what's coming up.
If we do, it needs to be the right player. We need to be patient.
Zero chance for him.
Now, Liam Rosenior was asked if we should expect any movement in and out of Chelsea this month. This is what he said.
If we do, it needs to be the right player. We need to be patient. I want to assess this group. It's really, really important to me. I like to give the players I work with a chance to show good surprises. We still have time. I'm in constant communication with the sporting directors and the ownership about potential transfers that are good for us, both in coming in and coming out. But I said to them when I first came in, I want to look at this group. I want to assess this group because you get good surprises, and if something is right for us in any position that's going to help the team and the club, we'll look at it.
It's going to assess the group, he says. What do you know, James?
Well, the club made an inquiry to sign Antoine Semenyo this January. Many clubs did because they saw it as a unique market opportunity. In the end, it became clear that he wanted to move to Manchester City. But what that tells you is that Chelsea clearly aren't hugely happy with the wide forward options they have right now. They're perhaps not getting the goal threat, the numbers that they were expecting. Jamie Gittins and Alejandro Garnacho are only into their first few months at the football club, likewise with Esteval as well. And clearly these are three players with a lot of potential. But when you look at their wide forward options, Pedro Neto is probably the only player who's really excelled so far this season. Promising signs from Garnacho last night, scoring 2 goals. But signing a wide forward would feel like more of a summer focus unless one of those targets they have in line for the summer becomes available in January. Enzo Maresca spoke in the summer and spoke about the need to sign a central defender. The club didn't feel so, but Levi Colwill was ruled out very early on in this season for the majority, if not all of the season. Enzo Maresca's wish was not granted, so clearly there's going to be conversations ongoing right now looking at those defensive options that the club have, because again, Dean Howson was a player they tried to sign in the summer, eventually went to Real Madrid. That could be an area of the pitch they look to strengthen in. Romeo Lavia, he just can't catch a break. He's injured so often, such a talented player, but it does mean that they're still light on options in the centre of the park, though they still have 2 of the most expensive central midfielders in world football. But that could be another area they'll explore in the summer. Yes, he'll be assessing the squad, but I'm fairly sure a lot of the decision when it comes to transfers will be taken out of his hands.
I think you're probably right. Let's talk Aston Villa. It feels like there might be a bit of movement there. Let's start Donyell Marlon, James. Is he off?
Well, they're about to let him go. Aston Villa are about to let him go to join Roma. Initially on loan, he's been in Italy already for a medical. Now the deal is £1.7 million up front. That's the loan fee, plus £21.6 million obligation to buy him permanently in the summer. And this is him arriving in Italy ahead of this move to the Italian club. Now, last January, Villa brought him, just over 12 months ago, they brought him from Borussia Dortmund in a deal worth a total of just over £20 million. So this represents good business from Aston Villa. In terms of whether it makes sense, I'm not so sure, because 29 appearances already this season he's made for Aston Villa, just 5 Premier League starts. But you do wonder, does this leave a squad who are 3rd in the Premier League table, 2nd in the Premier League table even, potentially fighting for the title in the FA Cup, in the Europa League? Does this leave them a little bit...
potentially, definitely fighting for the title.
Well, does this leave them a little bit short? Because there's been times this season where Donyell Marlon has started ahead of Ollie Watkins. Ollie Watkins has returned to form, but you look at the options there. Is this a great opportunity that Aston Villa have to do something special this season? Are they stronger with or without Donyell Marlon?
Yeah, you told us yesterday, Dharmesh, that Tammy Abraham was a complicated deal, but might happen. Could it happen?
I mean, they definitely are interested, are Aston Villa. I wonder whether the business that they're doing with Roma at the moment over Donyell Marlon might smooth the way for negotiations with Tammy Abraham. But it is complicated a little bit because I don't think Roma are actually involved that much in this. This is because Roma allowed Tammy Abraham last summer to go on loan to Besiktas. That deal was a loan with a conditional obligation to buy. Now, given the amount of appearances he's made so far, those conditions have already been met. So now Besiktas have the right and the obligation to buy Tammy Abraham. So Roma have said, fine, he's met the obligation, you can pay the money, and here you go. However, because Aston Villa want to sign Tammy Abraham now, Roma have effectively said to Aston Villa, you're going to have to negotiate with Besiktas because they hold the cards now. So I think Villa will have to negotiate with Besiktas to say, hold your horses on this obligation. We want to buy him, and then see if they can actually do this deal. It's interesting, though, the Turkish Cup second round took place earlier on today. Besiktas took on a team called Keşio Rengucu.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
Rolls off the tongue, that one.
Power.
They won
Turkish
3-0. Tammy Abraham started. He played 67 minutes, and guess who scored the first goal? Tammy Abraham after 15 minutes. So looks like he's in form, and you can see why Besiktas want to keep him, because he's had a good season so far. But it's going to be very interesting to see how this one transpires, because Aston Villa, they like the player, and he's had a really, really good spell with them before, hasn't he? 2018-2019 season, they were promoted from the Championship to the Premier League via the playoffs. He scored 26 goals in 40 appearances in all comps.
Absolutely. Right, we're going to stay with strikers when we come back from the break. We're going to talk Jean-Philippe Mateta, what's going on with him, and are Nottingham Forest going to sign one? Stay with us on The Transfer Show. See you in a bit.